What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. Back at you with another one. So yeah, man, what we got on the floor today, brother?
We might as well dive right into it, man. I was topic that I really was wanting to get into that I had in mind was is it really game time right now? We seen the other night, we seen him close it out with a buzzer beater against Philly. And I mean, a lot of people didn't have high expectations for that tandem, right? Like they didn't think
Hmm.
him and Giannis would fit in. He like on the lyric, literally coming in, literally. They was looking at a lot of that. And there was a lot of people that said they thought it was overhyped. They thought that it would be another Brooklyn experience. Or it's the real thing, the real deal.
Yeah, I just think with them, it's just like offensively they gonna figure it out. I just think it's about defensively
Mhm.
because Drew Holiday was one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. You know what I'm saying? One of the best. You know, and then like your perimeter guy, like that's like the first line of defense. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can get right past them, then it put a lot of pressure on your bigs to have to be cleanup. You know what I'm saying? So I think offensively they fine. I just think it's about trying not to lose that much defensively. I think that's gonna be the issue. Hold on, bro. You got like some headphones?
Okay, hear me? Quality.
No, I really can't hear you.
One second. One second. How about now? Check, check, check.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
No,
What you think? What you think about the Dame situation with
oh no, it's legit. It's legit. I think just over 25. I think he's making the noise that he should be making. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
think that you know, his presence is felt. He's really more of a facilitator, right? So we looking at he's averaging damn near 7 assists a game. He's working his role. He's working it around. Uh,
Mhm.
Giannis is gonna do what he do. He's gonna take
Well,
over. He taking over the. But I think Dame was a good asset to pick up. I think Dame. Uh, they complement each other well, man.
yeah, I think so. Get in each other way.
Complement each other well, and it looks good, especially coming out of the East. You know they second in the East behind Boston, which I ain't got no love for Boston. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no love for why lie about it, but I mean they
What
do
Boston? What Boston do to you?
the first spot, so they impressive.
What Boston do to you?
What Boston do to me? Man, listen, dog. I'm a product of the bad boys, man. The bad boy Pistons, man. I don't care nothing about no Boston, bro. I was born off bad boy basketball, man. Stop it. You can't
Well,
talk
you
about
yeah. Well, you can't root for them for you ain't been able to root for them for about a decade, about two or 20.
I'm
About
a hey,
we
look,
going on 20. We going on 20 years since they've been relevant.
hey. No, it is 2024.
Yeah, we
24.
going on 20.
Yeah,
But
okay. Boston last time relevant was when? But big 3 days?
they relevant now. What you mean?
Relevant for a moment. They got a moment.
They've been relevant since Tatum got there.
Do it in the finals.
I mean, yeah, they got to take a leap,
The finals. In
but
the
you know what I'm saying?
finals without three Hall of Famers.
What three Hall of Famers?
The three Hall of Famers they had when they did it last.
Oh, I mean, shoot, they got their young boys though.
Do it in the finals without we ain't even gonna go off on a tangent because I want to keep it to the same game. Actually, I had more to speak on in that game. Late, well, not too late, but like mid fourth quarter, around 9 and change left. Your boy Mike Brown, he saw the play, Fox bringing it up the court. He thought it was a foul. You know that little spinoff movie did. He lost it. He got ripped up. He thought it was a foul. Ref didn't call it. No call. He spazzes on him. I like
Hmm.
the energy. I like that. Get spicy with them because these refs got to be held accountable. They got to be held to the fire, man. It's time.
Right.
It's enough of that. It's enough of the bull and the nonsense, man. Playing around, you playing with people's livelihoods. These people work, did they hard their jobs, bust their butts to be out there. I don't see why. I
Right.
see nothing wrong with it. I saw a little bit of critique for him. You know, they thought that might have been maybe a little bit, I guess, too passionate. He was an angry black man, whatever. But let's be real.
It's different when we get mad. It's like
Let's,
10x type shit.
the referees need to be held accountable. They need to be
Cause
held.
they, cause they're not good.
No, they're not.
You know what
Man,
I'm saying? Like
they get away with it all the time.
they're
They,
not good, and they're it's like to me what like looking at it from like a perspective like if I'm a hooper,
yeah.
it's the inconsistency of the calls, right? Like it's like don't be like Nicky Nack foul on one play,
Mm-hmm.
and then on the next play you letting us get away with this. Like rep consistent, whatever you own, just stay on that. Don't be all over the place. That'd be my thing. Like they don't ref consistently, but what I think, I don't know. It just seemed real coincidental that the refing got worse as gambling has got into the game.
Well, I mean, duh.
You know what I'm saying? Like as
Duh.
soon as refing, as soon as FanDuel and all that start popping off, all of a sudden they can't referee. It ain't never been this much controversy about refs since then.
Listen,
That shit
everybody
ain't no coincidence.
a duck. If it walk like a duck, usually it's a duck. If it quack like a duck, it's usually
You
a
know what I'm
duck.
saying?
You hear me? Like
Yeah.
sports betting has changed the system. Everybody's scared to say it, because
Right.
the integrity and sanctity of this and that, and all
Right.
establishment. No, no, it matters. It makes a
It
difference.
do.
You see it. You can't do
And
it.
and and
It's
then it's like
supposed to call it. We're not supposed
it's
to act like we don't see it. That's
and
crazy.
it's so much like little stuff that you bet on that you ain't even gotta necessarily cheat the whole game in order to cheat though. Like it could be like Fox got a under 35 or something, right? He got 33. We like, no, we can't let him get this 35. You feel me? Or the reverse. Let's give him these free throws so we get this 35. You see what I'm saying? Like, how,
It's something just as simple as that no call. You know what I'm saying? To stop a run from a score because they was coming off of a scoring play. They scored, hit the
mhm.
court, no call on that foul, on that spin off that foul. That makes a difference on a run. You could pick
Yeah,
up
that's the listen. No
like
call on the number one way that they cheat. And I ain't gonna tell you how I figure this out because that's gonna start a whole nother conversation. But is a no call on one end that leads to a bucket on the other.
yeah.
Is bad boy piston defense on one end? If you look at them too hard, playing even attempt to play defense, it's a foul on the other end. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. So yeah, they definitely that definitely plays a part.
Energy from Mike Brown. I think he needs to get in that grill. I think he needs to let him know, man. Let him know. It
You know
ain't
what else I think? You know what else I think need to happen?
nothing letting it be known, dog. Y'all playing with people's livelihoods out
This
here.
this
We got busted butt to be here, man.
I think that the owners should tell the players and the coaches, speak your mind, I'll foot the bill.
They ain't gonna do that, but I got
Yeah, right. It's wishful thinking, but because think about it, think about it.
the boys club. You know how it go.
But think about it though,
They
right?
ain't gonna speak truth to power like that. They ain't,
Because the fines don't even be a lot relative to NBA money, right? 25 racks, these niggas out here making 300 million.
I don't know. Fine, it's fine.
I mean, it is,
Relative,
but
relative don't
if
matter.
the if the billionaire boys club gonna pay the little 25 racks,
They not gonna do
he
that.
gonna write that off anyway.
You got a lot more faith in them, even in ideology, than I ever will.
I mean,
I
I
ain't
don't think they will, but you know what I'm saying? I think they should.
gonna. Okay. Yeah. No, they should and will. I,
Yeah,
I,
I mean, it's wishful thinking, but I think if one owner do it, the other ones will probably fall suit. And the one that I think could do it, the one
hey,
that I think could to do it, will be Mark Cuban.
motherfucker, I knew you was gonna say that. It's like he
It'll be
ain't
Mark Cuban. It'll be Mark Cuban.
fight the case. He might fight on their
But
behalf.
see, this is what I think though. This is what I think though. This is what else I think. I think they already do it. They just ain't made. They just ain't said it right.
I would have to see the proof in the pudding on that.
I think it might. Come on, man. You know, it's too much money in that world for it not to be nothing going on under the table. It's
Well,
under the table in every layer of sports.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's that kind of righteousness. You know what I mean?
You just don't. You just think all owners is snakes. That's what you think. I don't.
Yes, they got
That's what it is. You just don't think. No, you have no faith in no owner.
no, I don't know.
I don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I give them all a flare slate. You know what I'm saying?
Anti-establishment, down with the establishment. No, I don't. No. And anyway,
Man, listen. Mark Cuban and them that got thrown out his own arena for arguing with the damn refs.
listen, a lot of things be formative. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them folks fool you.
No, only reason I say that is because it's been too many players that did vouch for his character.
Sure, they gonna
That's
have,
what, you know what I'm saying? It's been too many players that vouch for who for that it ain't fake.
but they know him personally. They get a
But
chance.
that's my point.
Let's get a chance to have a personal conversation with him. So, as far as an aspect of okay, this is a personable boss. This is my boss, and he's personable with me in that regard. Familiar with me, familiar with these other guys. We have
Hmm.
rapport. I get that. Like I'm not arguing that. I respect it. But as far as like being so noble as to say, well, I'm gonna put the bill on your tab real quick and send a
I mean,
message.
I don't know. He might. I don't know. I'm just saying, if it was one to do it, it would be him. That's what I'm saying.
Mike, I doubt that.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised though.
Billionaires be tight. They so tight they squeak. I'm telling you. They squeak when they walk. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People make their money legit be cheap as hell. I know. Cheap as shit.
Another piece I wanted to cover, man. Carmelo Anthony did a podcast this week, a little clip of a podcast.
Hmm.
They a sound bite went out, and he was speaking on basically. He said that Denver was being petty using that number 15 for Joker,
Hmm.
and he went into more detail about it in the gripes and the back and forth. But my takeaway of it was the question: who did the number 15 more justice in Denver? Who represents it? Who do you think of when you think of that number at this point? Do you think Melo or do you think Joker?
I think Melo. Personally, I do.
I always think Melo.
I think Melo. I think Melo. I don't
What is
like.
what's the
I don't
what's
even think. I don't even associate Joker with his number. I just think about him as a player individually, but I don't associate the two like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if they is being petty.
I think that Melo did that number more justice as far as not just necessarily stats, right? Like on the court, on the
Hmm.
rhythm in the play stats, right? I think he
Right.
did justice as far as pop culture, as far as being familiar. His jersey sales is ridiculous. I remember buying authentic jerseys and motherfuckers had a Melo. Um,
Yeah.
and pops up in many rap
I mean, look at it. Look at it like this. You seen Melo Denver jerseys.
music.
I ain't seen not a Nan Jokic jersey on
Not
somebody.
in pop culture, not in rap culture, with hip hop is
Not in the real world.
not in not, I mean,
Not on a random Wednesday.
not even in the US like that. Like he's not a
Right.
he still gotta earn that US fan base. I mean, maybe over there where he's from, maybe they rock with him more. Obviously they would. But I'm just
Right.
saying They I don't he don't come to mind like that. He don't come to mind when it comes to the number 15. I think that's always Carmelo Anthony. I think that should be in the Raptors and it should be untouched. Some stuff is just good butter. You don't touch that.
And I think and you know why I think it was petty?
What's that?
This is why I agree with Melo when I think it was petty. Because from my knowledge, he didn't even ask for that number. They just gave him the number.
The number, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what make it petty. Like if he would have been like that was his number, you know what I'm saying?
Like he said, Melo, as he was talking, he said that they kind of threw Joker in the middle of it. You know what I mean? They kind of threw him in. He didn't have no probably reservations one way or the other. He just was like,
Right.
whatever, it's a number. He's not
And
thinking
then
that, but Melo obviously is thinking in terms of legacy and I put in time,
yeah,
blood and sweat and tears behind this number on the doing my thing, Denver all the way. Like, you know what I mean? His most
right.
memorable years in playing time was in Denver.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, facts. Facts. And another thing you gotta think about is this, right? Like even him being there, building it up to what it was, and then moving to somewhere else,
Yeah.
them assets that he brought to the team once he left still contributed to what the team ended up being now. You know what
So
I'm saying? Like you look at you trade Melo, you get these players, you get them draft picks, you get this.
yeah.
You still leverage that eventually to what you got now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you never would have got them assets for Melo, you might not have no Jokic championship team right now. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like sometimes it takes another era or an era after that for it to manifest.
Even with that championship, man, I still think it's a lot of other work to be done. Melo didn't get the ring there, but I believe that he submitted himself in the minds and hearts of literally that whole fan base. Literally,
Yeah.
somebody that's an NBA fan that knows about Carmelo Anthony and who he is. Like I think
And
that man more than proved his point, and I feel
and the
like
thing is about winning, right? It's like
one, let me say this.
go
Joker got
ahead.
one, and he got his individual accolades, but at the end of the day, I think it's still more of a point to be proven. For him, I mean, he could say no, he could say, well, no, I led, we won a ring, whatever, whatever. I don't think it don't put him ahead in that race. He don't stand
What
out. He don't need, you don't,
what you mean he don't stand out?
he don't stand out above Carmelo as far
As
as
far as what?
like being the representation of Denver, being the face of Denver of that franchise, as far as being, let's say, the best nugget to come through there, he would still be behind him. I think that the proof is in the pudding. I think that the years solidified down the line. Melo had
But but I think they will put Jokic ahead of Melo. They would. Because they have now they overvalue this whole get your teammates involved and all around stats and all of that. Like that's the new thing now. It ain't about getting buckets, which is, how you win the game is putting it in the basket. But it's about the all around stats.
I think that foreign status helps. I think that foreign background
I think yeah. And somebody got said they want somebody look they be like all you niggas can't just run the league. Goddamn, give us something. We can't get an American white boy. We'll settle out of court with a foreigner. That's what it is. They'll settle out of court with a foreigner.
that's all I'm saying, man.
But I think the most but I think Melo would be like the most well known like how Iverson is to Philly.
Yeah.
It's like a smaller version of that. Like he the one you gonna know for what he did in Denver.
Cement. Uh,
And you gotta look at it like who he lost to and not make it into the finals was more impressive than any team in the East that made it to the finals. Because he had to go against the Lakers with Kobe and Gasol and the Spurs. Like all the talent was in the West.
mhm.
So you could have took that whole era, you could have took the top four from the West, and they probably could have beat whatever team came out the East. So even though he didn't never make the finals or he in Denver, his playoff runs was still impressive because who he went up against.
I don't know. A couple of teams in the East won during that era, though. His tenure
Who
during Melo's time in Denver,
who won?
the Pistons won in '04. He was
He
in
got
Denver.
drafted in '03.
I know he was there, buddy.
But
That's a
I'm saying like once they got like good,
even after that. You figure Boston won in that period of time. You
Boston won. But what
figure
I'm saying is if you look at the run to the finals in the East versus the West is a dog fight. The East is like which one of them gonna win?
that's it was a dog fight both ways, though. I ain't gonna say that
It
because
was yeah, but it was pressing Canarias in the West.
that's
It was poodles
right.
and it was like one pit bull over in the East, maybe two.
In the time period you're talking about, you still talking about some of the powerhouse teams that was built up and could have potentially won a ring had the matchups lined up and the stars aligned in their favor. Like you got, like let's say Orlando in that period of time when they had Jameer Nelson, Dwight Howard, they had Keon Dora
Hmm.
on that team, they had what's my
Oh,
boy?
that was a solid squad.
They had a few more on that team. Like that team was good. That was a
Right.
dog.
No, I'm not saying the East was trash. I'm just saying that
Was in the dog fight. I heard you.
the West was the dominant conference. That's all I'm saying.
It's got wicked, and that's just one. Because we still, you still can't count out. Like I said, Boston was still on the bubble. They just ended up getting all them guys in there to bring them over the hump, and then you still had. I guess the overall point is just that. I guess Melo went up against all of the hard body guys, the
Because
hard.
you had Dirk in Dallas been good pretty much the whole decade. The Spurs was good pretty much the whole decade.
Yeah,
You had the Kobe and Shaq Lakers. He had a couple down years. Then it was Kobe and Gasol. They was good the whole decade.
Portland was on the bubble at that time too. Portland
Then
was
you had then you
Portland
had Phoenix.
at the time.
And Portland was always like in the middle. They probably didn't had the fourth, fifth seed more times than any team ever. They stayed in the middle of the pack. So they always was you gotta remember, they had Brandon Roy over there for a minute. Like they always been in the mix. You know what I'm
Aldridge,
saying? So that's five teams right there that we just named. I didn't even name Denver yet.
yeah, it's
You
yeah,
see what I'm saying? That's
I'm
six teams. You add Denver to that. So
tough. The West was tough for sure.
yeah, but it was what I'm saying. It was like head and shoulders better than the East. Is what
Nah,
I'm saying. It was
I
head and shoulders better than like all six of them teams. Most years would have came out the East.
my ass. I ain't gonna
All six of them.
that. I can't agree with that, but
I agree. Other than Boston, they would have came out the East.
I know
Other than that big three Boston, they either would have came out the East or went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Miami won in that
Uh,
time. Miami won in that time period, and then that's when he went to New York. He went
oh,
to during that
I'm
time.
talking about before the big three though. Before the big three Miami. Before that. But even then,
About
it
the
was more watered down after that.
say that one more time.
Even after Big Three Miami, it was even more watered down after that.
I ain't gonna say
Because
that. Watered down.
because
Who was watered down in the
the
East?
East, yes. After LeBron went to the Heat, it was even more watered down after that.
What was watered down? Did you watch that playoff run? Did you watch them play in the East like
Yeah.
the way through?
Yeah, you just wait till the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's no hell no.
It
What was
was definitely more watered down.
still okay? So let's back up because now we done touched some. Let's back up. So in that period of time, you talking about that particular time frame? We'll say from the stretch of we were talking Melo's era, correct?
Yeah,
So you
but I think it was before that because
what
hold
teams?
on.
Wait.
Hold on. Because Melo, we got to see what year Melo got traded from from Denver. Because Denver, he might have got traded before Miami did the big three. Because I think his last hurrah in Denver was verse. I remember he played the Lakers in like '08 or '09.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he was in Denver after that. So the whole Miami thing actually might be past that.
Yeah, he was in New
He
York.
might have been in New York then. He might not have been in Denver no more. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. Hold
Okay.
on, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, give me some specifics. While you do that, I gotta pose one more question too. So I believe you covered this. Uh,
Hmm.
the Draymond potentially retiring. You know,
Hmm.
we coming back after a 16 game absence stretch. You know what I mean? You think it's time, man? I think he did what all he needed to do at this point. I think he showed more heart than a little bit. I think he did everything he was supposed to do and could do. He been a support, whether you like him or not. You can't deny that he been the attitude and muscle of that team and that franchise, and he showed, his worth to me. Some people argue certain numbers and all.
I don't think. Hold on, real quick. We're gonna get back to that. So yeah, the Melo thing is kind of like the big three Miami thing is kind of after Melo because he got traded in 2011. Big three got together 2000, the summer of 2010. So it wasn't at the same time. It was kind of after. He was in New York
Okay,
during the heyday of the Heat. You
but
know what I'm
in
saying?
summer of 2010,
Huh?
say it one more time. He
No,
left,
he got traded. They teamed up the summer of 2010.
and
But
then
he got traded to New York February 2011. So it wasn't like you know what I'm saying. Like he was over there too. It wasn't like he wasn't in the West then.
they lost one, won two, lost one.
Who?
Miami
Right. But this was before all that. This was like when they first got together.
got together in 2010.
Yeah. The
He
summer of 2010. He got traded to New
2000.
York 2011. So they wasn't even like
He
competing for like
he was there. He was there for that first year run, but he during that season he
he
went.
got traded. So
Yeah,
it's like it wasn't even a conference thing at that time. It was whatever was in that conference before that happened. So actually, it was deeper before that happened than it
oh,
was after.
okay.
So the East was actually deeper before that than after that. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
don't know about that.
I think so.
It's too many names that come to mind. It's too many strong backcourts that come to mind during.
Not after 2010.
That's a damn lie.
Ooh,
That's a damn lie. We can't stick
name them.
in one spot though. We got to
Oh, no, no, don't duck it, nigga. Don't duck it.
answer me on the Draymond
I
shit.
got I got time today. Don't duck it. It's like
We already damn near 30 minutes in.
I don't give a shit. I got time today. It's like no, but no, we can duck the smoke. We go to Draymond.
Come back to it. We'll finish it up. We're still fun.
I don't, but no, I don't think Draymond. I don't think he need to retire. I just think he might need a reduced role.
Okay. Why so much a reduced role? He's still effective.
No, no, just because not necessarily role, but I just think like more minutes need to be given to like some of the young talent. You know what I'm saying? Like because you know how they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
True.
That don't apply to basketball. You got to keep getting new tricks in order to stay relevant, like in order to stay effective. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like if you're an old dog and ain't got no new tricks, it's a problem.
Hmm.
And I think that's him. Like him and I'll even put Clay into that. Like they the same player. They've been the exact same player this whole run. The only one that really got better is Steph.
Hmm.
And it's like it's one thing when your trick I can't like Shaq trick. I'm bigger than you and I got good feet. There's some people trick you just can't stop, so they don't need new tricks. You know what I'm saying? Like if you that good, but your trick just so good, you can't stop it. That's different. But no, it's like neither one of them got better offensively.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They the same player, and I feel like teams start to figure you out. You know what I'm saying? Like when you the first of something, okay, cool. It's like, oh, how we do what we do against that? But now we got what? Damn near 10 years of film on y'all.
Hmm.
We know about them brush screens and you know what I'm saying? We done seen this 100 times. We pretty much know ignore Draymond, don't let Steph shoot, run Clay off the line.
Might not want to ignore Draymond. He's still
But I'm saying out of that,
for a reason.
what I'm saying, he's not. he don't look to score.
No, I,
Like he's not going to get you. Like you can't be like, oh, we're gonna make great. Like Draymond is not gonna beat you offensively. Now he gonna do all the other stuff. You know what I'm
it's
saying? That don't show up on the stat sheet, but it's like,
intangible.
and the league is kind of changed too. Like the league is catered more to offense, so you gotta be able to put the ball in the basket. Like you just have to. Like, and I feel like with him not really getting better offensively, him being more of a liability on offense is starting to stand out more than it ever did.
I think he's older at this point. He's getting old.
Oh, but that don't matter.
Trying to outplay these
Still,
players.
listen,
He's not
that's
going. He's not going
that's true. That's
to
true. But
the offensive
I'm
strong suit like that. That wasn't his game from day one.
but
That
that's
was
my point.
to do his thing, but he wasn't. He wasn't the guy that was going to try to go give you 40 a night, 30 a night. He was doing what
Right,
he was supposed to do, boxing out,
right.
being a
That's
presence.
that's that's true.
He was doing what
But
he was supposed to do. That's not a liability.
that is a lot. It becomes one,
How?
is what I'm saying.
How? It's
Because
you can
if you
say,
got a teams now got five guys on the court that can score. Five, three, four at least.
that. I mean, teams always have five guys that can
I'm
score.
talking about that get like that put the ball in the basket. Like you can't not score. Like you gotta add. Like think about what
But
has he added to his game.
wait a minute. Wait, back up. Wait a second. What you talking about is relative to the game plan and the scheme, or the scheme that they run as far as whenever they plays is set up. If you got a player like a Steph or a Clay on your team, like, and some of them
Mhm.
guys is interchangeable, right? Like they come in, they go out, whatever.
Right.
Those two really, I'm gonna focus on those two because I mean, even if it was during Durant era, you gotta, you can't have it so that all five is trying to compete and step on each other's toes and trying to score.
No, 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 no. But that ain't how they play the game anyway. They play the game to where you just take the best shot and the offense create the shots. But what I'm saying is if I can pretty much ignore one person, it put more emphasis on the other players and it make it harder for them.
The part where you losing me, you can't ignore no goddamn body. You can't ignore him. He ain't no.
They don't.
You think he ain't gonna step up and score? Is you crazy?
Yeah, but he got a small window of area on the court that he gonna score from.
That's not true. That man can.
Yes, it,
He can make it happen. He's out there for
but
it.
he can sometimes. But
So,
he hasn't made himself like a consistent scorer too, like a third scorer to go along with Stephen Clay.
but that
And I think,
wasn't
and
his.
I think,
That wasn't his role to do that. That wasn't his.
yeah. But what I'm saying is your role has to evolve,
Tell that to Steve Kerr.
huh?
Tell that to Steve Kerr.
I mean, yeah, but who responsibility is it for players to work on their game and get better? The coach or the player?
But okay, so that's not the part that I don't agree with that. His skill level is on par. That ain't the flaw. It's not the flaw is in the argument for people is that, oh, he can't do this or he can't do that. He wouldn't do that with another team. He wouldn't be as relevant and da 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 da. Da. In that lineup that he's in, he only has to perform the duties that he performs. He fits in
Mhm.
where he is at. He ain't, they not asking him to go and do more. Because if he had to do more, I'm sure he could. That's a professional athlete. You think he can't score from wherever he want? It ain't that he can't do it. That's his job. His job is to do what he do on the block. It's to be the junkyard dog. It's to be that guy. It's not a
Mhm.
lot of that role left. We already know that the NBA is
Right,
phasing that role out. As
right.
so
That's true.
so it's the thing for me with him. I just don't like the expectation. Like you can't
But no, I think okay.
like
Look
that.
at Brook. Hold on. Let me give you an example.
He don't do that. That's not what
Let
he's
me let me let me give you an example. Right.
in
Look
another
at
up, and I bet you he wouldn't. They wouldn't ask him to do that neither, because his effectiveness is more intangible. Is more. I give you another guy like that to me, a
who?
similar player, PJ Tucker.
PJ
Uh-huh.
Tucker plays in any lineup. He ain't gonna give you more than 10 to 15, maybe, if you lucky on a good night.
Right.
He
Right.
do. He got hella hustle. He got hella D. He gonna get boards. He gonna put a body on motherfuckers.
And that's part of the reason why he ain't been able to get off that pine. In
He the man. He one of them to me. As far as
I mean,
Johnny,
yeah, yeah, no. You will have a long career like that, but what I'm saying, but if you look at look at a player like Brooke Lopez, right?
yeah,
He didn't start off. He was a back to the basket player, right? His game evolved over time to how the league changed. The league now they
effective
want they want 7-footers that can stretch the floor.
player,
They
Brent.
didn't want 7-footers that can stretch the floor then. His game evolved. All I'm saying is Draymond game hasn't evolved. It stayed the same.
I think
That's
that
all I'm saying.
he a victim of circumstance. The circumstances don't require that. His game is what it is because that was what was required for the
I
circumstance.
mean, yeah, that's true. That's true to a certain extent, but at the same time, it's like you still need more. It's still always good. The more you are a threat offensively, the more pressure you take off Steph and Clay offensively.
Sure, but then that's where those other guys.
Even if you ain't gotta use it, you just gotta let them know, like, no, you know, I got that. Just don't think,
And
don't.
for that reason, I think it's time that my dog retire. I think it's
Why?
time
You
because
think he's time for him to retire?
why be held up? Why be held to that standard and expected to do all of this, all go all that hard? You aging out as it is, right? Like
Yeah,
he was a dinosaur. He ain't no
but
dinosaur.
no, but I don't think that,
Get this
I
out.
don't think skill don't
Let me
require more effort.
let me say this. I think that he's aging as we go, right? Like he ain't a dinosaur.
Mhm,
He ain't 40, but he ain't far. He ain't far from you know what I'm saying? Like
mhm.
so it's kind of like why stress yourself? I think for me, my personal thing is I think he should walk away from it for his own well-being, his own personal. Take basketball off the table. I think for his own personal well-being, fuck this shit. You rich, you got your podcast, you into the media space. What the fuck you want to keep playing for? You got rings, your legacy solidified. He ain't got nothing to prove. Who he
He
proving it?
got he got this many more years on his deal, though, I believe.
Yeah, they're gonna try to hold him to it.
I don't think he need to retire though. I don't think so. I just think like the Warriors is in like a crossroad where they need to figure out how they need to reinvent themselves.
Hmm.
That's what I think. And I think that him being more of a threat offensively can be part of that. But a lot of it is not necessarily I think a lot of it is because it's like a downward, like because Clay hasn't either.
Hmm.
So it's a both of them staying the same is affecting Steph the most.
Hmm.
So if they both were better offensively in different areas where teams hasn't really been able to key in on that,
Hmm.
and it would help take the pressure off of Steph because they still the 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 what's the word I'm looking for? The scout report has been the same for 10 years. Same scout report. You gotta switch it up. Like you gotta give teams something else to look at. That's just my person. Like if they gonna stay with that same core, I feel like they gotta add, you know what I'm saying, something to their game. Like Steph Clay gotta play a little bit more off the dribble, go to the basket more, and not be so set on just shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta mix it up because teams is keying in on it, and these players ain't getting no slower. They getting taller and more athletic. You know what I'm saying? The people closing out on you is 6'7", 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Like that window to shoot is close. Is you know what I'm saying? You gonna have to hit them with a little you need a little bit more spice. That's all.
So in order to stay in the mix, if that's what you're trying to do,
Yeah, like you gotta mix it up. Like, and that's kind of where. And I think this is what I really think. I think they should have kept Big Fella that they drafted. That's what I think.
You talking about?
I can't think his name. He played for the Pistons now. I can't think his name. Dang, what is it? The young? I can't think his name. Hold on. What is his name? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I'm gonna have to be the stat guy. But no, I think they should have. I think they should have kept the big fella because they need something different. Like they've been doing the same. You know what I'm saying? They've been this old dogs doing the same tricks. James Wiseman.
Oh, my.
I think they should have kept Wiseman. That's my point. I think they should have kept Wiseman because you need a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like you got you got too many guards. Like your team is too guard heavy. Like even if you look at their roster now, you got too many guards that do the same thing.
I
And,
think that uh,
and small guards on top of that.
that worked for them in the past, though. That
I
worked
mean, yeah, in the past. But
in the
even if you look historically, 3 out of their 4 rings, they always had a legit 7 footer though. Even though they were small, they always still had a legit 7 footer. And I feel like if you could have paired Wiseman with Draymond in the backcourt, then Wiseman could have been your extra offensive threat where he can because he can shoot, he can do all of that. He can stretch the floor. He could have been that. Then Draymond could have played off of him and kind of stayed in his same role. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Versus Poole is cool, but Poole is like he like an overachiever. Like he like one of the ones where you think he that, but he really ain't that. But he really good. You know what I'm saying? Like he good, but he don't play well with you know what I'm saying? He like the kid that don't play good with others. You know what I'm saying?
but
You know what I'm saying? Like he don't play well with others.
listen,
And you don't need somebody that's like a power struggle. Because I feel like he played like he was looking at stuff like I am that too. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really need that.
why is that a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing to shoot high, especially as a guard? Like,
You
okay,
see, do you see? Have you been paying attention to what he's doing in Washington?
this
You're not that too, sir. Play your role.
that's I think that's a result of a broken spirit after those
But
situations. I think
no, because he still averaged 20 on Golden State
shit.
that same year. The year after the punch.
That's and then they got rid of him.
I mean, yeah, but but
That's
no, I'm gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you the difference.
situations. I didn't even target the specific situation.
But no, but
Bring
this
it.
is it. But I'm gonna tell you the difference. In it, like, say if you like a 6 man, right, and you putting up 15, 20 off the bench, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every 6 man, not James Harden. And by that I mean, if you go somewhere else and be your own team, you actually a star.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to score 20 when you number 3 on the board of who we gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to be, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to score that 20 when
I
you the one they will live with doing it
did
versus the one they trying to stop.
you actually end up kind of with a little bit of a tighter window because you got to get your shit where you can get it. So if you can still pull off 20 or better in that, even in that, when you down the down the line of who to stop or who the threats are,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I think that says something when you could pop up and make
Right,
some.
but what I'm saying is that's more your fit is that, but that don't mean that you can be the number one guy.
But I'm saying I'm not mad at a nigga for saying that or thinking like, hey, let me at least attempt to do it. Now, if you fall on your face, you fall on your face.
Right.
But you gotta get
Yeah,
your
yeah, all right. But yeah, yes and no though. But I feel like
you gotta make it. You can't shit on them for trying. I
I
mean,
mean,
he,
no, but I think at the same time though, You can't be successful as a team long term when you like internally competing in the actual game. Like y'all can compete in practice, but you gotta know your role in the actual game.
So then, what is it to be said about earning your role and earning your spot? Because in the game, you still competing for a job.
Hmm.
In game, it ain't just in practice. In
Right.
game,
I mean that's true. I mean, and that's what make it a slippery slope. But you still gotta make winning plays.
sure, of
You know what
course.
I'm saying?
How you get your job and get your minutes. You make winning plays, but you have to execute and earn that and get those minutes and get that.
That is very true. But I think that him I think something with that because I think with him getting that money, I think his ego got ballooned and it affected who he was as a person that affected the chemistry of the team.
I can't speak to
I
that.
think so because you gotta listen. You gotta pay real. Like think about it.
I
Think
can't.
about it. No, think about this. Think about this. We are on a team, right? It's 15 guys on this team, and nobody tried to grab Draymond. Like nobody flinched. Like that's one of them ones. Like about time somebody. Oh,
Well,
about
part of that
time.
is surprised too. So part of that is shock. Like, oh, he rocked him. Like
No, I think it was one of them. Like yeah, it's gonna happen today.
part of that is unexpected. They wasn't expecting that. That's and I
No,
mean,
I think.
of
I
course, we're
think.
talking about an issue from years ago at this point.
Right. Right.
But I'm just saying, a portion of that is, they didn't think it was gonna go there. They didn't think the tension was that serious. You know what I mean? That the tension was that high, and that the situation
I
was.
think it's the reverse.
And now, what you talking about when you say, "Oh, him getting the money and the ego," I can't speak to that because I don't know that. We don't know that for a fact. We can't vouch for that. The only thing
Right.
we can really speak to is to say that, you know, performance wise, you was shooting for here, you
Hmm.
landed here, right? And
Right.
that's not a bad thing, as far as effort, right? But
Right.
you get paid for effort, you get paid for production. So your production got to be on par with, what you think you are and who you are should somewhere align, right?
And I think that was the issue
But
right there.
yeah,
Who he was and who he thought he was wasn't aligned.
yeah,
He thought him and Steph was the duo.
yeah,
It ain't no duo. It's Steph in them.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no duo.
Depending on who you ask, it,
Uh,
got- it's one of those situations
but
where
even if you look at every great six, you gotta still buy into your role.
yeah, of course,
And if your ability push you higher, then it's gonna push you higher. But you still gotta buy into that role when you in it. You got to, or it's gonna cost the team. You know what I'm saying it's gonna affect the team chemistry if you don't buy in the moment. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
got to get them to, but you got to solicit that sale. You got to get.
Right. And I don't think he started feeling himself. That's just my theory. I think dude started feeling himself. And I feel like Washington is gonna be his humbling experience.
Oh yeah, it's humbling.
Cause they
Goddamn it.
already talking about and now if Washington end up trading him, either it's gonna be where he just fit in with everybody else, or he gonna get traded somewhere else and be a six man again.
And I doubt he would take that reserve of a role coming.
You ain't got no choice.
You got a choice.
You
it's
want a job, or do you not want a job? If you want a job, this your job.
it's always a choice because it's always somebody. Hey, look, the ugly girl over there, she ain't dancing with nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it ain't even no team. You already at the bottom.
She
Like
ain't
you,
nobody over there. So, I mean, it's always a choice, baby. That's really all I got. I'm all covered over here, man.
you are covered.
Yeah, yep. We
Well,
got
I
more.
don't.
We can give them some more a little later on. I got a few other things we can go into next week.
Okay. Okay. What was I about to say? Hold on, real quick. I don't think that I don't think it's no spots for him to. Only team that could make him the number one is the team he owns, as
Mm.
far as ability to be a number one. Because every other team got their number one, whether they good or bad.
It always boils down to matchups. It always boils down to, in that offense, do you fit and can we run it around you? For
But listen, hold on, listen to what you just said. Fit.
Yeah, of
You
course.
got to
Everybody,
fit.
everybody got to fit. It don't matter even if it's built around you. You fit as the focal point.
Right, right, right.
So you gotta fit regardless. That's with anybody. It don't matter who it is. You just gotta be able to. If can we center this around you, or can we add you as a piece to this, or can we, interject
Hmm.
somewhere in there? It gotta be a moving machine. It gotta be a moving piece. You know what I'm saying? A moving system.
Right, right. Yeah, I feel it. I think he gonna we gonna see what's gonna happen with Poole, Mr. Jordan Poole. We gonna see. We gonna see. You ready to wrap this episode up, brother?
Wrap it and get back to it. See y'all, man.
Peace.